Hello people of the internet. My name is Eddie134 and today I bring you guys a very special video. It's been a long time in the making, probably since September of 2024. And what we'll be doing today is an unboxing of the Woody and Buzz Lightyear duo pack from Toymark all the way from Mexico. So for those of you who don't know, Toymark is a Mexican-owned company that deals in the manufacture, import, and distribution of toys of several different brands in Latin America. And it's been, according to their website, for over 20 years. And it's based in Mexico City. So this is where most of the figures come from. They got the Toy Story license sometime around 2019 for the Toy Story 4 movie. And they've been doing a few figures for the toy line since. Of course, we had originally the Buzz Lightyear and Woody by themselves in the carnival theming packaging for 2019-2020, and then at some point they started releasing the regular Toy Story brand boxing, like the one you see for this one specifically, where it's just Toy Story. There are some other variants that have the Toy Story 4 with the carnival stuff. That's a little bit more prominent. You can still see this carnival theming in the box still. So like, for example, in the background, you see the beach ball design or something, like the circus canopy design of two colors in the background. And it's also present in some of the sides of the packaging as well. So like I said, I'd been holding off on making this video for quite some time now, since September of 2024. And it was mostly out of undecisiveness. I wasn't sure if I wanted to open these or not, just because of how difficult it was to get them on hand. So these figures aren't rare by any means. I mean, some would argue that the Woody is kind of difficult to get if you don't live in Mexico City, because sometimes it's available online, sometimes it's not. But they're not difficult by any means. I mean, anyone, if you go to Mexico City, you can go to would be considered downtown Mexico City and go to any well, they're called tiendas de mayoreo, which is basically a wholesale store, I think is the translation, and buy one. The problem is I don't live in Mexico. So thankfully I do know someone that does live in Mexico, and they were able to do me the favor of getting me this one and the other Toymark Buzz Lightyear that glows in the dark. So, but it was such a hassle to begin with. It was a lot of back and forth and waiting and communicating, and obviously the ride to get to my place where I'm at. So it's not a favor that I can really call upon very often. So therein lies my hesitance to open it. But I figured I originally bought them with the intent of opening it, and I figured I probably should commit to opening them. They're not rare. It's more of my desire to keep things sealed. So, and there's a lot of peculiarities that make these figures very unique. Well, we'll get into that. Alright, let's get the show on the road. So here's the packaging. You got Woody and Buzz. You can't see with the light, but it says Woody y Buzz Lightyear, figuras de acción que hablan. This isn't the glow-in-the-dark or the wings variant. This is just the regular Toymark Buzz Lightyear with the lights and phrases. So I do think they did make one that does have the wings, but I'm not entirely sure. Like the dual pack with wings and Woody. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, the one with wings always glows in the dark. So there's the base variant, the glow-in-the-dark variant, and then the winged variant that glows in the dark. So I guess I can show you guys the sides of the boxes. Here we have the legal stuff, like the instructions on how to change the batteries, with 3D model representations of the two figures on how to put them. You got the type of battery it uses. It's got 3 LR44 batteries. You got the Toymark logo with the website, some import stuff with Toymark distributors and yada yada yada. The barcode if you're interested in that. Some legal Disney stuff. If I'm not mistaken, it should also say Disney Latino somewhere. Unless it's on the other side of the box. Oh yeah. Okay, we'll get to that in a second. So each side covers like each figure. So this side, on the left hand side facing the box, you have the Woody instructions. So it says that it has 6 phrases and that you can take the hat on and off. And then again oh, you can see here as well, this is what I was talking about with the carnival stuff. So it has the circus canopy design, or whatever. Here's the top as well, just another little tidbit to tell you what it is. I'm assuming for if you store it like that, like this, you can still tell what it is. On the other side, you have the bit for Buzz Lightyear. So it says it talks, and then it has lights on the buttons, which is also very, it's like a distinct feature of the Toymark Buzz Lightyear, which we'll get to that when we have the figure in hand. This is also one of the other reasons why I was more prone to open it, or like, I convinced myself to open this figure. When it arrived, it came smushed. So I'm assuming in the transit of when I bought it and it got sent to the person's house, the mail service squished the bag, the box in, so it's kind of like crumpled. So, and the Buzz Lightyear, if you can tell, it's loose in there. It just kind of wiggles around, so it's not in the greatest conditions. You can see the Woody hat right there. Now, going to the back of the box, we have another set of instructions with better pictures. You can kind of see the scale of the two figures side by side. It says right here, you press the red wing button to activate Buzz Lightyear's phrases, and another like thing with showing off the lights. Buzz speaks 6 phrases, Woody speaks 6 phrases, and then another tidbit for Woody saying that you have to pull on his pull string to activate the phrases as well. Some more battery stuff again. You got this like signature Toy Story 4 kind of logo that shows up on all the Toymark stuff, so it's like a silhouette of all the figures. Toymark doesn't have figures of most of these. So we did recently get a Woody figure, a Jessie figure, I'm sorry, and an Alien figure, which is right here. There's obviously the Woody right here, but we've yet to see a Bo Peep, a Duke Kaboom, a Rex, the Ducky and Bunny duo. And if I'm not mistaken, this might be Lotso, which I'm not sure why he's there. Oh, no. This is not Lotso. This is, oh my gosh, I don't remember her name. I haven't seen Toy Story 4 since probably the release of the movie. So, this is the villain from Toy Story 4. Gabby, that's the name. I just remembered it. So yeah, hopefully Toymark does actually end up making figures for this. There is a Ham Toymark figure that has shown up before in the past in some Woody and Buzz Lightyear dual packs that has just like been thrown in there for some reason. And there's also a Forky for like in this scale as well. So hopefully this means that we'll be seeing some of these other characters from Toymark soon. They have been pumping out new figures recently, so fingers crossed something new comes out by the end of 2025. And then here's some like import sticker with the import information if you're interested in that. There's a picture up on the wiki, and you can also go on the Toy Story merchandise wiki. We have a page on Toymark and some of the figures released there. If you want to read up on that, I'll leave a link in the description. So, and we have a picture of this information as well if you want to look at it a bit closer, and I guess I could also put it up on screen. So let's just open it up. I think we can probably do so from this end. Alright, so here I have the two Toymark figures side by side, Woody and Buzz. I was originally going to have Woody in the frame standing next to Buzz, but he wouldn't fit with the setup I have. So here's a picture of what they look like side by side, just so you can get an idea of what they scale with each other. In terms of sizes between these figures and, for example, Toymark figures, they're pretty much the same scale. Buzz Lightyear is the same size as the Signature Collection / Thinkway figures. Woody, I believe, is a little taller than his Toymark counterpart, but I don't think it's by a lot. So let's just get on with it. I'll move Woody to the side for now, and here we have Buzz Lightyear. Alright, so here we have the Buzz Lightyear. This is the base variant, so we have no glow-in-the-dark paint or wings. However, the winged variant wouldn't have pop-out wings. It would be a like clamshell that goes over this. It covers the white section. You'll still be able to see this on the base figure. So the wings would be like its own part of the thing and sort of come out like that from the actual piece, and you'd just be able to remove it. Mine doesn't have that. There is no karate chop action. This little hole is from where the pull tab is, so you can conserve the figure if you store it over a long period of time. The batteries don't corrode. A lot of screw holes, of course. Why would you plug some of them? I mean, they did go through the trouble of plugging this one, so it's a little strange that we have so many visible. Of course, no knee joint or foot joint. However, this foot is its own separate piece, so maybe you could add one if you wanted to, or maybe they could add one in the future. It goes out this far, this far. You can't really sit this figure either. It kind of just sits like at this angle, and it would probably topple over, which is also a problem in some of the Thinkway figures as well, but they did address it in the collection ones where the leg would bend, like it would fold or bend. It would turn at the knee, so it would kind of sit at a crisscross position. We get some good elbow and shoulder rotation. it can reach pretty far. It can actually reach its chest, which is not something a lot of Buzz Lightyear figures can do. So it allows for some pretty cool poses. There's no wrist communicator, unfortunately. 360 degree at the wrist, and the fingers are not individually like their own separate piece. This is one single piece. It moves out this much. Same for this. We don't have a laser, unfortunately. However, this button is its own piece as well, so maybe we'll get a laser Buzz Lightyear in the future, or it could even allow for some modding. I'm not entirely sure why the laser on the sticker is so small, but it's a choice they made. These buttons aren't actually buttons, they're like little clear pieces with lights in the back. If you can see them, they're the LED. The Space Ranger sticker is pretty decent, although the placement is a little off. The head is kind of weird. I feel like they could have added a little bit more on the eyebrows and it wouldn't look that weird. But other than that, it's not that bad. I've seen other Buzz Lightyear figures from Toymark that have looked worse. Like the eye placement is looking God knows where. So this is like one of the better heads I could have received. And I don't think it's half bad. We do get some rotation at the head, which is nice. It doesn't go all the way, but not every other Buzz Lightyear is able to fully rotate or rotate at all. So this is kind of nice. Some helmet visor. No button, because why would we have one? As you can see, this like little black rubber thing is also different compared to the Thinkway and the Disney Store versions. So this is why the it can like, well actually I'm not entirely sure. I do believe the Buzz Lightyear is able to reach its hand over to his chest, mostly because of the elbow being able to fold down this much. But this is more reminiscent to, I believe, Disney Store Buzz Lightyear. And that's like a conclusion we made pretty early on with the Toymark figures. They're like an amalgamation of Disney Store and Thinkway figures. So it's like a little bit of the best of both worlds, but not, because it does have its downsides, of course. Like I said earlier as well in the video, the plastic on this is not necessarily cheap, but if you drop it, you would definitely have some cracking somewhere. So it's, even though it's marketed as a kid's toy, this is mostly probably gonna do better if left on display. Here's the Lightyear sticker. I don't believe I showed that off very well. So both Woody and Buzz have 6 phrases each. For Buzz Lightyear specifically, the phrases are activated through the chest button for the wings, instead of these buttons right here, which are just lights that activate while the figure is talking. And these are voice lines from the Latin American voice actor Jose Luis Orozco, who's been voicing Buzz Lightyear since the very first movie. And let me show you those phrases right now.
No parece haber señales de vida inteligente en ninguna parte. Soy Buzz Lightyear, guardián espacial. Tengo que reparar mis turbopropulsores. Al infinito y más allá. No estoy volando, estoy cayendo con estilo. Buzz Lightyear a comando estelar.
Alright, and on to Woody. Alright, so here's our Toymark Woody. Right off the bat, I think you can see this print error. This is not present in all the figures. I mean, a lot of them do come with print errors like this one. Or you'll get, like I said with Buzz, where the eyes are looking kind of wonky as well. This one doesn't look too bad aside from the print error right here. The buttons aren't the greatest, I don't think. The sheriff star is not colored. It's kind of like this weird grayish green brown color. You can see that it does have the sheriff logo. You could probably paint over this, but it is like a glossy plastic, so I'm not sure how well the paint would hold. The cow print vest is sewn on directly to the clothes, so you could probably unstitch that really easily. It's just like, oh, actually, I take that back. It's like this whole section of it is sewn on. That's kind of good, so it'll avoid kids losing it, I guess. It's got a really nice bandana right here. It's tied off. It's not glued, so you could just remove this if you wanted to. The pull string is this long specifically. It doesn't go any further. It doesn't retract. It's just to activate the phrases. I'm not going to pull it. It's just so that you can know. We do get this like Velcro thing to access the voice box. I haven't actually opened this to see what it looks like. There you go. It's kind of like the Disney Store ones, which is interesting. I don't believe this is attached. No, it's not. It's not attached to the head, which is nice because it does allow Toymark Woody to have sort of this loose head while on display, kind of like where it's in toy mode. Here is the belt buckle for those who want to see that. Mine is chipped right there by the cow horn, unfortunately, but the places for the leather, so like the holster and the belt, have this like really nice sort of leather design on them, printed on directly, which looks really good in person. You can kind of pick it up on camera when it shines, like when it reflects the light. Oh, you can also see it has some like stitching directly molded onto the plastic. You can kind of tell a little bit. The legs are nice and skinny. Here are the boots. Pretty nice. See if I can get them to focus. There you go. There's that nice leather texture I was talking about. The yellow is a little too yellow in my opinion, but I don't know if maybe gold is a little too expensive of a color. The holster does have this rotating thing that was present in the collection figures, so this is really, really nice when compared to say, for example, Disney Store or regular Thinkway, where this is like its own piece. And I've noticed that a lot of those figures, due to not being able to sit properly, a lot of them, when they're used, come with like this holster thing bent to the side, and that looks awful. I hate it so much. I've spent too much time heating up holsters to reset them back in place. The hands, unfortunately, are not open. They're pretty much the standard Woody hand. But I don't know, they look nice enough. They're a little too glossy, but that's probably fine. What else? Let's look at the hat for a second. Here is Woody's hat. It's got this brown sort of part painted on and a little textured as well, which you don't see a lot of Woody hats have painted. The string is also molded onto the piece directly. It does fit Woody pretty well, but it's prone to falling off in my experience. So I just kind of have it where you can still see some of the hair, and I just don't touch it because I obviously have it on display, right? This is the face it's got a raised eyebrow, kind of like the way The Rock does his signature look. Some rosy cheeks. You can see some teeth painted in there. There are no hairlines, kind of like how the Signature Collection has. It's just like a solid color. But that's well enough. I wasn't expecting there to be any. The hair kind of looks decent. I mean, many will know I'm a avid lover of the Hasbro figures, but I will not deny that they are kind of funky looking. So for something like this to be like really decent looking is kind of shocking to me, especially when something with probably a little bit more budget made something like what Hasbro made. This is like very impressive in my opinion. But let's go through some of the phrases. And here you can see, this obviously doesn't have lights. I mean, where would you even put them? But I'll also show you how this doesn't even pull that far. I think I did some of them a few times because I wasn't keeping track. But this figure is really important as well. With, I would say, Toy Story history for Latin America, because it's the first figure to actually have the voice of the current Woody voice actor in the toy. So if you don't know, yeah, so the original voice for Woody was Carlos II. He did the voice for Toy Story 1 and Toy Story 2. Then at some point between the release of the third film, he tried to renegotiate his deal for how much he was getting paid for the character, and Disney was like, no, we don't want to pay you anything more than what we're already paying you. And he's like, okay, I can leave. So he did. He stopped voicing the character, and they offered it to another person called Braulio Sosa. He started doing the voice for everything to do with merchandising, so all the figures in Latin America for Woody have his voice. And then if I'm not mistaken, probably some of the executives hadn't heard his voice or something, because they ended up firing him, and they hired Arturo Mercado Jr., who is the current voice actor for Woody, who started doing the voice from Toy Story 3 and onward. And I do believe he's also going to voice him in the fifth film. But obviously, because he was doing the voice for, they did the voice change really late into production. And a matter of fact, in some of the trailers, you don't even hear Woody very well, so it's kind of hard to tell if it's actually Braulio Sosa doing the voice or Woody. So Thinkway just kind of reused that for the Latin American releases. Even up to Toy Story 4, we didn't get anything from Arturo Mercado Jr. until this. And this is very special because it has normal Woody phrases alongside some classic phrases from Toy Story 1, but said with the new voice actor. So it's kind of interesting to hear how these phrases sound with the new voice actor. Alright, so I hope you guys enjoyed my first review of many to come. I do have another piece for the Toy Story Más Allá collection. I'm not ready to show it off yet since I have some things to do beforehand, but keep your eyes peeled for that video. And let me know what you guys think of these two figures. I know a lot of the reviews for the Toymark figures are in Spanish, so hopefully this one in English was informative enough for you guys. If you have any questions on them, I'll be happy to answer them in the comments below. And I'll catch you guys later. Bye!